What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week. We are here with a little preview discussion of the upcoming Saturday night game with Auburn and Missouri. Missouri travels to the Plains for a 6:45 p.m. kickoff. Both teams are coming off losses. Missouri lost, I believe it was like 27-24 to Alabama. And obviously Auburn lost 20-10 this past Saturday against Georgia. And right now, a lot of fans are they don't know, they really don't know what to feel in regards to Hugh Freeze and mainly the offense. Like, nobody has really any critiques of the defense itself. Defense, other than the beginning of the Baylor game, at the beginning of the season where they looked iffy at times. Ever since then, they have looked really, really solid against Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and then against Georgia. They have done everything possible to keep the offense in the game for them to be able to like score points and win the game and everything. I don't think they had a turnover against Georgia. I mean, obviously they had one against Texas A&M. I don't remember if they had one against. They were supposed to have one against Oklahoma. They may have had one or two. I don't remember. But so what's the goal here for this? Because like defensively, like obviously you got to stop Harvey. Auburn tried to go for him in the portal. I believe they did. Now, there was different reports of him potentially visiting Auburn. A lot of Auburn fans wanting him. He was a very talented running back. But I get basically the plan that whatever Alabama did against Missouri, Auburn should obviously kind of like try to go with that. Stop the run, make Missouri beat you for the passing game because Missouri's not a very good down the field passing offense. We saw that throughout the game last week against Alabama, and then we saw that kind of like towards the end when Missouri needed to, you know, throw the ball downfield in order to like get a field goal range or even take a touchdown uh, to win the game. They're not a very good down the field passing team, so you're going to be without Kay and Lee, I think, right? And he should be back because he got ejected in the first half, so he missed the second half. So yeah. So I believe he should be good um to play in this game, but like Missouri's wide receivers don't really like scare me, or they really shouldn't scare you. Everything is going to be predicated on their ability to run the ball. So if Auburn can, and Auburn's been relatively good at stopping the run all season, so Auburn can stop Missouri from doing that. Make Bo Pribula beat you through the air. eh, We'll see. We'll see. On the Auburn side of things, it's been a pretty crazy week because you had Damari Alston exit the team. Now, whether you agree with that or not, it's not really the case. What it sounds like is that he wanted the red shirt, and I don't know. It was a whole mess. It is what it is. Like, I don't think both sides are wrong. Um, I don't think both sides are wrong about how they approached it, but needless to say, Damari Alston is not with the team. Best of luck to him. Next man up. To be quite honest, and again, this is just my opinion. Cobb had already become running back one, in my opinion. Like, obviously, you can't really blame Damari being injured and being out in the two cupcake games earlier in the season, but you know, I felt like Cobb was doing relatively well and to become running back one. So it's on him. It's on him, and potentially Omar Mapson as well, because Darrell Robinson is still out. I think he's maybe out for like another maybe 3 weeks. So they're still you know it is what it is. So, but like obviously you can't let officials beat you. Like obviously you had to turn up the game, the officiating in the way it was last week. Like they came, Auburn came out against Georgia. Like everything seemed to work. Georgia made adjustments. I don't think Auburn really made that many adjustments, and they got beat. So I'm curious on what the game plan is going to be. Missouri's pass defense is not really that great, so that could be a situation where Auburn could take advantage of in the game. But you still got to run the ball. Like they made an effort in the first half that we saw of running the ball against Georgia and everything, and everything looked great. The offense was moving. They had these long sustaining. That is something. Even though the offense has been kind of frustrating to watch, they have these habits of doing these long sustainable drives, like these 10 to 14, 15, 16 type play drives that just eats up clock. And I think that's one of the things Auburn is relatively good at. I think they're a team, at least this season, from what I've seen through most of these games, they are a team that one they need to play from the lead. I think they definitely need to. Obviously, I know the Georgia game is an outlier, but I feel like this is a team that needs to play from the lead. They are not very good. They weren't last year either, but they're not very good at trying to come from behind and overcome to get a win. So and they're very like be a clock management type team, control the clock and everything like that. Um, it's like I like I told my friend Cole because we were talking about this after the Georgia game because he asked me, do I think Hugh Freeze is done if somehow they lose to Missouri? I said, let me wait and see how things look in the game. And I was, have somebody I was talking with, and they were mentioning how they think even with a loss, Hugh Freeze is probably safe. So there's two ways to look at it. If he loses to Missouri on Saturday, do I think he's out? No, because it'll be dumb for you to lose to Missouri because Missouri is a good football team. Don't get me wrong, but you should be able to clearly beat them. And so like these next set of games, you're clearly from a talent and roster standpoint, you're the better football team. You should be able to beat Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Mercer, and you could potentially go on a run of five straight wins leading into the Iron Bowl, and obviously we'll see what happens with that. You could end up 9-3 or 8-4. There is a situation where you could end up 7-5. Now I'm curious with 7-5. Even though you can make the money people like the boosters and everything, the people with the money, they probably see that Auburn has virtually got screwed out of two games. But I wonder if the offense looks gross again on Saturday against Missouri, if Hugh Freeze somehow survives, do they make him be like, all right, we're not gonna fire you, but you've got to give up play calling. You cannot do play calling anymore. And I kind of think he kind of did it too quick anyway after year one when he let Philip Montgomery go and he assumed offensive coordinator the role. I think he moved on too quick for me. I think he could have maybe done another hire potentially. Even though he hired Derek Nix as the offensive coordinator, we all knew he was going to be the one calling plays. So there's a lot to unpack with if depending on how things go with this game. To be quite honest, so um, but again, Auburn is clearly the better team in this game. They're like defensively, Missouri is really good. They are a very good defensive team. So I don't want to take that away or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Like if this game is close going into half, like do you start to hit the panic button or anything like that? Maybe. Um, but again, like you kind of have to you kind of have to wait. I know other teams have already like let their coaches go and stuff like that, but you're not going to play anybody the rest of the way until you reach Alabama, who can challenge like from a roster standpoint, you could that can go toe to toe with you. Yeah, so it's I don't know. It should be an interesting game. I am picking Auburn to win. But I'm curious, like if Jackson R struggles in this game, is there like let's say it's close going into halftime. Offense is not really moving the ball. Do you go ahead and make a change at quarterback and see if that provides some kind of spark? 'Cause I think the issue is it's it's part of it is the Jackson holding on to the ball too long. That is part of it. Um, I don't know. It's really hard to say with this team. It's really hard to say with this team. I just think that like even if Hugh Freeze loses this game, I don't think they'll fire him like on Sunday or anything like that. I think we're just gonna have to wait and see how things play out the rest of the season. Now, if he loses to like Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, maybe, then I could see a situation where they're like, yeah, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. So that could be a situation right there in and of itself. But I don't know. We still got a ways to go in that regard. So, but I am picking Auburn to win the game. I think the offense does enough to score points and just to secure an Auburn victory because I think right now this team loses a fourth game in a row. Like I don't know how much more you can like keep this locker room together. Like that's four straight games, three against top 10 opponents. Obviously you got Missouri, who's a top 25 team. Um, so it's gonna be crazy. But they did get some good news because linebacker Shadarius Tootle flipped back from Georgia. He flipped from Auburn to Georgia, and then he flipped back to Auburn. So he did that today, and then I believe his brother is planning on transferring to Auburn as well. So that I mean, in the midst of all the craziness, there is a little bit that little bit of good news right there. Is that like a highly talented recruit that you had flipped back to you. So um, we'll see. We'll see. Currently, as I'm recording, there is about 4 minutes left in this Auburn Oklahoma State exhibition game. I'm probably just going to do a separate video talking about that. Not a very long one, but I'm probably just going to do a separate thing talking about that. Because right now Auburn is down 6 points. This has been a very interesting game. I think this team, from what I've seen so far in this game, this team does have a long way to go, and I think this non-conference slate of games is gonna hurt, but I think it's gonna be helpful when SEC play gets here. But we'll see. There's plenty of time for them to get better in jail. I think that's the most thing right there is them just jailing and officiating in this game has been a little ticky tacky. A lot of whistle. It's been like officiating like a high school basketball game. A lot of whistle blows and stuff like that for small things, but yeah. But all right, guys, that is relatively it. Thank you guys for hanging out. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment below. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.